You pitch your startup. You put your problem slide on the screen. And then you get 3 seconds of dead silence from the partners. When you are standing at the front of that room, you might think that silence means they are busy admiring the massive scale of the market you just revealed. They are not. They are just confused. That confusion almost always traces back to a single mistake, packing every piece of market research you found onto a single slide to prove you did your homework. We see this all the time. It's an approach built on being comprehensive. The slide is packed with 3 different pie charts, a 5-year trend line, and a dense 6-point bulleted list. By putting all of that on the screen at once, you are forcing the investor to do the analytical heavy lifting in real time. They have to read your data, sort out what matters, and figure out your point while you are still talking. The founders who raise capital successfully take a different approach: curated clarity. They have already analyzed the data for the room, and they present only the single, most critical point of friction. This clarity allows an investor to instantly map the opportunity in their head. They see the exact gap in the market, which immediately builds conviction. Listing 6 different market problems might make you look well-read on the industry, but to the person writing the check, it proves you haven't yet figured out the specific pain that actually drives your business. Let's be honest about why we overcomplicate this. As a founder, deleting data feels risky. There's a real fear that if you put up a simple, highly curated slide, you'll look like you haven't researched the market deeply enough. Think about the person sitting across from you. Venture capitalists review hundreds of pitch decks every single week. They survive by using strict pattern recognition to size up an opportunity in a matter of seconds. When they see a crowded problem slide, they don't see a genius who understands the whole market. They see a lack of strategic focus. It signals that the founding team is too early in their journey to know exactly what they are solving. Investors do not write checks to fix general market inefficiencies. They write checks to relieve a specific, actionable tension that a distinct paying user group is experiencing right now. Getting to that level of clarity requires a difficult trade-off. You have to actively choose to delete impressive-sounding secondary data so that your primary point can actually land. Your problem slide has exactly one job. It is not there to make the audience intellectually agree with a market fact. It is there to make them actually feel the user's pain. It takes immense discipline to hold back your best research, but cutting the noise is the only way to transform an abstract, academic presentation into a grounded, undeniable business opportunity. So, how do we engineer a slide that does that? First, it has to be painfully specific. You have to pull the audience out of a high-level, abstract mindset. Healthcare is inefficient is a weak problem statement. It's generic. It doesn't tell us who is suffering, what it costs them, or why it matters. Contrast that with a direct scenario. Medical staff lose 3 hours every single day dealing with manual administrative coding errors. With that specific scenario, the investor immediately starts doing the math. They can visualize the wasted hours, the delayed patient care, and the cascading financial costs to the hospital. Once you have the specific mechanism, the second rule is to make the problem inherently human. High-converting problem slides prioritize the internal feeling over the external task. They capture the emotional friction of a customer's routine.
Small retail owners often manage inventory with nothing but pen and paper. Every night, they lock up feeling a deep sense of anxiety because their manual numbers never match the register. You don't need a massive data set to prove that. Putting a short, direct quote from an actual store owner right on the slide validates that human pain instantly. When you humanize a specific problem, investors with zero context in your industry understand the stakes immediately. You give them a reason to lean into the rest of the pitch. The third rule is context. You have to explain exactly why this specific pain matters right now, before you explain how to fix it. Saying hiring truck drivers is inefficient is vague. Pointing out that a booming $380 billion logistics sector still relies entirely on walk-ins and paper resumes creates immediate contrast. This brings us to the first major trap founders fall into, taking a broad market trend and masquerading it as an urgent problem. Pointing out that remote work is growing or that artificial intelligence is disrupting industries simply validates that a market exists. It fails to identify an actual problem that someone will pay to solve. The second trap is relying on sheer scale too early. This chart shows a classic top-down market sizing. featuring a massive $74.5 billion total addressable market. Dedicating your valuable problem slide real estate to a massive TAM signals a lack of focus. It alienates your audience by asking them to care about a macroeconomic figure instead of a user's daily pain. The final trap is the feature in disguise. This happens when a founder claims, "The problem is simply that no platform exists that does exactly what their software does." That tactic completely breaks your narrative flow. It attempts to sneak your solution in before you have actually validated that a real market tension exists. Stripping away the trends, the massive TAMs, and the hidden features leaves you exposed. It forces you to rely purely on the objective reality of the user's pain, which proves to the room that you know exactly where disruption creates value. If we map these approaches out, we can see exactly why some pitches fail while others secure funding. If you dump data or chase broad trends, you end up in the top left or bottom left. Your presentation might look comprehensive, but it is ultimately confusing to the person reviewing it. The optimal strategy lives in the top right. By focusing entirely on a humanized single pain point, you achieve a slide that is completely clear and highly effective. In the pitch room, clarity builds conviction and closes rounds. Cleverness just delays the decision. If you are a technical founder, stop spending your problem slide explaining broken infrastructure. Start explaining the severe financial or time cost that broken infrastructure forces onto the end user. If you are raising for the first time, don't mistake a massive macro trend for an urgent, fundable problem. They are not the same thing. Before you take your next meeting, try this. Write down the single objection you are most afraid an investor will raise. Then ruthlessly edit your problem slide until it directly addresses that exact hesitation. To skip the trial and error of fixing your deck during a raise, we built the VC-ready 16-slide pitch deck kit for exactly this situation. Yes, it requires a $497 upfront investment, but it gives you lifetime updates and provides frameworks built entirely on actual investor psychology. By getting you to a clear yes faster, it protects your equity when it matters most. You can find the link in the description.